I mocked my husband in front of our guests. His three-word response ended our marriage on the spot. For years I thought I was being funny. My husband Daniel never argued. He never snapped back. Whenever I teased him in front of friends, he'd force a smile and everyone would laugh. I mistook his silence for approval. I couldn't have been more wrong. On our 10th wedding anniversary, we reserved the same restaurant where he'd proposed to me. The evening felt perfect. Candles glowed across the room, soft piano music drifted through the air, and our closest friends shared stories about love, family, and marriage. Daniel was his usual self, quiet, attentive, always thinking about everyone else. He noticed empty glasses before anyone asked for a refill. He remembered everyone's favorite meals. Without saying a word, he ordered the chocolate cake I always loved. Looking back, I realized he spent the entire night making sure everyone else felt comfortable. Then I destroyed it. One of our friends raised a toast. "I don't know how you do it, Daniel. You're the perfect husband." Everyone nodded. Instead of thanking him, I laughed. "Perfect? He's so quiet. I sometimes forget he's sitting next to me." The table burst into laughter. The attention felt good. So I kept going. If I waited for Daniel to make a decision, we'd still be choosing our honeymoon destination. More laughter. I glanced at him. He smiled, but something about it felt different. It wasn't happiness. It looked like someone trying very hard not to break. I should have stopped. Instead, I delivered one last joke. I guess every marriage needs at least one capable adult. The laughter was louder than ever. Then, Daniel slowly placed his fork on the table. The tiny sound of metal touching porcelain somehow echoed through the entire restaurant. He looked around at every face before finally meeting my eyes. His expression wasn't angry. It was empty. Then he quietly said 3 words. "I'm done. Goodbye." Silence. The laughter vanished instantly. Every conversation in the restaurant seemed to disappear. No one moved. No one breathed. I waited for him to smile, to tell everyone it was a joke. He never did. Instead, he stood. "For 10 years," he said calmly, "I've listened while the person I loved made me the punchline." Nobody looked at me anymore. They were all watching him. I kept telling myself, "You didn't mean it," that one day you'd realize how much those jokes hurt. His voice cracked for the first time. "But tonight, you laughed at my dignity." My throat tightened. "I was only kidding," I whispered. He shook his head. "I know. Those 2 words hurt more than shouting ever could. That's the tragedy." Tears blurred my vision. "I've spent years protecting you," he continued, "working overtime so you never worried about money, fixing problems before you even noticed they existed, loving you quietly because I thought love didn't need applause." He swallowed hard. "But I needed respect." No one said a word. Even our friends looked ashamed for laughing. Daniel reached into his pocket, removed his wedding ring, and gently placed it beside my untouched dessert. "I can't stay where I'm constantly made to feel small." Then he walked away. I chased him into the parking lot, begging him to stop. "I'm sorry. I'll change." He paused without turning around. "I believe you." Hope rushed through me. Then he added softly, "But the woman I needed would have defended me, not entertained everyone at my expense." He got into his car. This time, he didn't look back. Watching those taillights disappear into the darkness felt like watching 10 years of marriage vanish with them. Months later, I finally understood the lesson that came too late. Love doesn't disappear in one explosive fight. Sometimes it dies one joke at a time. One laugh, one public humiliation, one moment when the person who promised to protect your heart becomes the one handing it to the crowd. And by the time the silence arrives, the marriage is already over.